Here we have to discuss regarding two areas. One is modern lifestyle and hypokinetic disease. So what is the problems of modern lifestyle and what do you mean by hypokinetic disease? So these two will be the areas of our discussion. Now regarding modern lifestyle, there are number of changes which modern human beings are going through. Basically, a human being is designed as an animal who has to run, who has to walk, who has to jump. So this is the basic principle on which the design of human being has been done. So when we are not involving any kind of walking, jumping or running, naturally that will be having an effect on our body. So if we look back at our ancestors, they used to be hunting, their main occupation was hunting or gathering fruits or fishing or that. So all these activities will need extensive physical labor or physical activity. So they were getting plenty of exercise as a part of their daily life. Now what is happening is that this physical exercise in daily life has been greatly reduced, and as a result of that our body is expressing it in different form of disorders, and these disorders are basically what we call as lifestyle diseases. So lifestyle diseases are a result of the way we lead our lives. So when we are leading a very proper life as we are supposed to live, there will not be any problem. But when our daily physical activity is reduced, naturally that will be creating a lot of problem. Nowadays what is happening is that we are eating highly nutritious food. Earlier the poverty, yesterday 2-3 days before I read it in a newspaper that the poverty rate in Kerala is 0.7%. It's only 0.7%. That means most of the people in Kerala are getting something to eat. So there is no food scarcity in Kerala right now. So that is the reason why people are getting a lot of food, and when middle class and the rich upper class are always getting highly nutritious food. So when we are eating highly nutritious food, that will be affecting our health in one way or another. So that is the problem of modern lifestyle, and this kind of diseases are also called diseases of longevity. Longevity meaning length of our life or our lifespan. The expected that maximum lifespan of human beings are considered as around 120. That is the maximum a human being can live. So if you look at the lifestyle disease, like there are many lifestyle diseases. For example, heart diseases, blood pressure, cholesterol, then diabetes, then back pain. All these are considered as lifestyle diseases, and most of these lifestyle diseases are increasing in occurrence or increasing in their frequency when a person is crossing an age of 40 or 50. So after an age of 40 or 50, gradually these sort of diseases will be coming up and will be expressing. And these are also known as diseases of civilization. When a society become more developed, these diseases are more common. Earlier India used to be a poor country. Now India has grown a lot. Now we cannot completely call India as a poor country, even though there is still around 20% of people below poverty line. But 80% of people in India are above the poverty line. That is itself is a very big number. So when a country is progressing, when the society is progressing, naturally people become more healthy, people will be eating more nutritious food, and that will result in this sort of disease. So as civilization is improving, these sort of diseases will become more common. Then lifestyle diseases are a result of ill relationship of people with their environment. That is another important thing. Nowadays, people are more concerned about health. You can see that I'm coming from Cochin city. I can see that there are plenty of new gym centers are opening every month. Why people are spending a lot of money on going to gym? Now, if you go to Europe or America or any other developed country, there also gyms are becoming more and more popular. So people are now concerned about maintaining their health more. So that is a good thing. But basically, the problem comes when we are not leading a proper or a good relationship with our environment. So we, as an individual, we have to walk a lot, run a lot, and jump a lot. So when these three things are not happening in our life, naturally that will be affecting our body in a very negative way. That is the reason for development of lifestyle diseases. Now we will see some statistics regarding this. The World Health Organization has warned that more than 270 million people are susceptible to falling victim to lifestyle diseases linked to unhealthy lifestyle. So problem with the modern jobs are that you said if you go to any job now, most of the time you will be working with the help of a computer. So in order to work with the computer, most of the time you are either sitting. So most of the jobs are sedentary job. Sedentary means doing something by sitting. Sitting activity are known as sedentary jobs. So computer job or any software jobs are all sedentary jobs. Most of the management jobs are sedentary jobs. Most of the office jobs, clerical jobs, banking jobs are all sedentary jobs. There are very few jobs which are not very sedentary, like the work of a nurse, work of a police person, the work of a teacher. And those people have to stand most of the time. But other than that, most of the office people are doing their activity, doing their work by sitting in a chair. So when you are sitting in a chair most of the time, that will be affecting your health. And most of these people are thought to come from China, India, Pakistan and Indonesia. If you take these four countries, a large number of people are present there. India has a population of 1.4 billion. China has a population of 1.4 billion. And Indonesia, I think, is the third most populous country in the world. Fourth most populous country in the world. So China, India, China, USA and Indonesia, that's how it's called. So Indonesia has also a lot of people. And Indonesia is also getting very rich. So, yeah, and Pakistan was going through a period of development. Now they are facing a lot of problems. So, most of these countries are experiencing a lot of economical development. When economy of a country is improving, naturally the wealth of the people will be increasing and that will be affecting the health of the people. So unless we are maintaining a good relationship with our environment, that will be resulting in a negative health or negative health to our body. So in a little over a decade from now, the chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, AIDS would account for 65% of the death. So that is a statistics, and here you can see that it was only 53% in 2005. So during every 5 year or every 10 year, the number of people who are being affected by lifestyle diseases like cancer, AIDS, hypertension or diabetes are actually increasing. By 2020, the chronic diseases are expected to claim 7.63 million lives, compared to 3.78. So here you will get an idea that in 1990 it was only 3.78. Now the number has again increased, doubled. So if you just check the situation of your relatives, the people who have died in your families, just what are the diseases that have affected them? Most of the time it may be some problem with the heart, like hypertension or heart attack or cancer or stroke. So these are the common causes of death. Now, India, that is already home to largest number of diabetes patients, is projected to have 30 million diabetics. Now, you know that if you take any family in Kerala, at least one member of that family will be having a diabetes. So, diabetes is quite common in Kerala, and India is sometimes called as a diabetic capital of the world. Why diabetes is becoming more and more common? The number എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടോ അതൊന്ന് പറഞ്ഞേ 801 ഓക്കെ പിന്നെ ആരാണ് 14. Okay, now let's come back to our talk. So India is considered as a diabetic capital of the world. There are number of reasons because Indian economy is developing. People are having more money. When people are having more money in their hand, they will be consuming a lot of nutritious food. Naturally, the amount of fat in our body will be increasing, and that will be increasing the cholesterol level. So after some time, gradually the diabetes will start coming. So this is the problem that is happening. A recent study estimated that nearly 11% of India's urban population and 3% of rural population above the age of 15 have diabetes. So on a rough estimate, if you take 10 people, one person will be having a diabetes. Now in the case of rural area, this number is slightly less because rural people will be involved in mostly agricultural activities, and agricultural activities means they have to involve in a lot of physical work. So if you are involving in physical work, your chance of developing diabetes and as well as other kinds of lifestyle diseases are less. Then another problem in this statistics is that data coming from villages or rural area may not be always very reliable. So that may be also responsible for lower figure. Now in the case of Kerala, you know that Kerala has a urban population of 47%. That is the urban population in Kerala compared with other, because if you travel from Kerala to Tamil Nadu or to other areas of Karnataka or any other state, you can immediately feel that what is the style, there is lot of difference between a city and a village. But in the case of Kerala, the difference between a city and village is not so different, not so striking. Even in a village, you will be getting most of the facilities that are available in a city area. So the rural population in India in Kerala is very limited. Here you can see what are the important lifestyle diseases. And we have to discuss some of the most common type of lifestyle diseases. The first one is the Alzheimer's disease. Then we have arteriosclerosis. And today we will be discussing one or two here. And what are the reasons for lifestyle diseases? As I already mentioned, it is sedentary life. Sedentary means sitting. So when you are engaging any kind of work and most of the time you are sitting, then that will be having a bad effect or negative effect on your health. So reduction in physical activity and exercise has added to this scenario. So it is told that a person should have at least 30 minutes of rigorous physical activity in a day. 30 minutes you must spend in exercise, minimum, that is the minimum. So when you don't have that 30 minutes of exercise in a day, or hard physical activity, naturally that will be having some effect on your body. And these diseases are widespread as countries become industrialized and people live longer. So earlier when India was independent, I think the life expectancy of people in India was around 34 only. That is, by the age of 34, majority of the people in India are dying. And during that time, just before independence, There are a lot of drought, famine in India. You might have heard about Bengal famine. And British people were exploiting India most of the time, and the people of India are not getting any food to eat. Millions of people have died in areas like North India, especially in Bengal. So at that time it was 34. Now it has increased above 70. So it has almost doubled. Now you can take that, if you take the people in Kerala, most of the people are living above an age of 80. So if people are dying below 80, we will say that too early death. So that is how we are considering life now. So change in our diet from high nutritious food towards junk food. What is the peculiar? What are junk food? Most of the time the fast food like burger and pizza, because all these kinds of food are European food suited to the environment in Europe, because they are living in an area of they have a colder environment, and in a colder environment a lot of energy will be utilized by your body for producing heat. So if you take this highly nutritious food or fat rich food in Europe, that will not be creating so much problem for you there or for the people of Europe. But we are living in a tropical country, a warmer place, and if you are eating too much fat, that fat will be stored in your body and that will be increasing your body weight, and finally you become obese, and with obesity comes the cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes and heart related problem. Then another problem that is common here is the substance abuse. People are consuming lot of tobacco smoking and also alcohol drinking as well as drug abuse. So this is also common because people are having more money in their hand. So if you don't have enough money to eat, then we people will not be going for any alcohol consumption or tobacco smoking or any kind. So only when money is having, and this kind of problems are there. And with the drugs, you know that when drug addiction is increasing, that is also increasing the crime level in a society. Because if people are not getting money for the using drug, they will be going for stealing or some other criminal activity to make money. And so that is how the system is going. So substance abuse is also a reason for the lifestyle disease. So if there is a question on what are the major reasons for lifestyle diseases, these are the four major reasons: sedentary lifestyle, industrialization, then change in our diet, then and also substance abuse. Now we will see what are the common lifestyle diseases which are mentioned here. The first one is the Alzheimer's disease. Here you can see that what is an Alzheimer's disease. Now if anyone in your home or anyone in your family or in your neighborhood is having this problem, then you may be aware of what are the difficulties this problem is creating. So Alzheimer's disease is actually a brain disease, and there is a gradual decline or destruction in the activity of the brain. So it's a form of brain disease, and no one knows the exact cause. That is the important problem in treating this. That doctors don't know, medical science don't know why this disease is coming. Then, but a real breakdown of cells of the body. Here you can see this is the healthy brain, and in the case of an Alzheimer's person, there will be shrinking of the brain cells. And after some time, if you look at the CT scan, you can see that most of the parts of the brain has been shrinking or got destroyed. So this kind of a destruction of brain cells are happening in Alzheimer's person, and why it is happening, nobody knows. And the problem is that since we don't know what is the reason, we don't have a proper treatment also. So there is no one knows what is the cause. Unless we discover what are the real reasons for Alzheimer's disease to come, we cannot treat it properly. But there is no treatment, but it has been observed that good nutrition may slow the progress of this disease. Normally, once Alzheimer's disease has been discovered, the people usually live up to an age up to for a period of 7 or 10 years. So after that 5 years or 10 years, the disease becoming more severe, and finally they will die. This is normally happening. So there is no treatment, but good nutrition can slow down, which lasts 7 years, but in most people who are having it. Then, so in the case of Alzheimer's disease also, recently the doctors have discovered that in the brain cells of these persons with Alzheimer's, a kind of protein deposits will be coming. So if you examine the brain cells in a microscope, we can see that a dark colored protein and protein deposits will be present. So that is an indication that the person is going to have Alzheimer's disease soon. Then other problem is arteriosclerosis. You might have studied about arteriosclerosis maybe in your high school or plus 2 classes, and plus 2 biology you might have studied about this disease. So in the case of arteriosclerosis, it is arterio means referring to artery, and sclerosis means hardening. So this is how a normal artery is to be seen. Now here what happens is that cholesterol is being deposited on the inner side of the artery. So when cholesterol is being deposited like this, two kinds of problems are coming. One, the cavity of the artery will be decreased. The hole inside the artery will be gradually reduced. Second problem is that this blood vessel is almost like a cycle tube or a balloon. It can expand. It has some elasticity. But when cholesterol is deposited like this elasticity or elastic property of the blood vessel will be gradually reduced. So when elastic properties are decreased, the pressure inside the blood, pressure of blood inside the artery will be increasing. So that will be leading to increased blood pressure. So this is the problem with arteriosclerosis, a generic name for several diseases in which arterial wall become thicker or hardened and loses its elasticity. So this loss of elasticity is mainly coming through deposition of this cholesterol inside the artery. Then plaques, and these are known as the plaques, also known as atheromas, deposited on the wall of the artery, are the major causes of heart disease. Then chest pain. Chest pain is also known as angina. If anybody in your home is having a heart problem, you might have heard about terms like angina. Then heart attacks, heart is suddenly stopping working, and other disorders of the circulation like stroke. Stroke is now getting more and more common. So these are some of the problems of arteriosclerosis, and usually it occurs with aging, and it is also linked to overweight. And how you can consider whether you are an overweight or underweight? You can take your height. If you know the height of a person is 160 centimeter, then the ideal weight for that person is 60. The height of the person is 170, then you cannot have more than 70 kilogram. And if your height is 155, your ideal weight is 55. So just minus 100 from your height in centimeter, that will be your ideal height. So any increase from that height, 1 kg or 2 kg may be okay, but it's always better to keep in the ideal weight. And if you are increasing from your ideal weight, your chance of getting these lifestyle diseases, your chance of getting all kinds of problems will gradually increase. So this is the overweight. So when you are overweight, you will naturally have more high blood pressure, and there is increased chance of developing diabetes. The problem with the diabetes is that diabetes is a disease that is affecting almost all the systems in your body. There is no single system in your body which are not affected by diabetes, because diabetes means increase in sugar in your blood, When more sugar is present in your blood, the problem is that there will be more sugar in the blood, but at the same time, the cells in your body may not be getting enough glucose also. That is the situation of diabetes. Then there is another problem, that is cancer. And basically, what is a cancer? Cancer is actually defined as an uncontrolled or abnormal growth of cells. So normally the cells have a quality that they will stop multiplying after certain number of division, maybe 100 times. So the cell has by a genetic programming, a cell is capable of multiplying only up to a certain number of times. Imagine it is 100 times. So after 100 the multiplication, cells will naturally die. But in the case of cancer, this mechanism is not happening. So what happens is that normally the cell is programmed to die after a certain number of division. But in the case of cancerous cells, this multiplication will be continuing indefinitely. So as a result of what happened, if there is any cancer in any part of your body, you can see that after some time there is a bulging on that part of the body. So this is basically a cancer. But cancer is actually a common, because normally what happens is that there are some cells which have a tendency to become cancer. But our immune system has a capacity of identifying these cancerous cells and destroying it immediately. So this is how normally it is done. In every person, 1 or 2 cells will become cancerous, but our immune system is identifying these cancerous cells and will be destroying it immediately. So when this normal process is not happening in a proper way, some of the number of cells which are becoming cancerous will be increasing, and slowly a part of your body become cancerous. So this is the basic reason in formation of cancer. So cancer is now an important cause of death. You know that many important people, especially you can see the film stars, are many of them are dying because of cancer. So it is something which we don't have much control, but with the better medical treatment, you know, there is some hope for some people. At least we can increase the number of years the people are surviving after the discovery, after they are diagnosed with the cancer. Here you can see that there are more than 150 different kinds of cancer. So the cancer is also, so the frequency of these sort of diseases are actually increasing after a time of after 50 or 60 years of life. Then it comes to the heart disease. In this heart disease, any of the several abnormalities that affect heart muscle or blood. So that is basically resulting in a heart disease. Either it will be affecting a muscle in your heart, or it will be affecting a blood vessel going to a heart. So these are the common way by which a heart disease will be normally expressing. Heart disease has been the number one cause of mortality. Mortality means death, and morbidity means disease. So heart disease will be the major cause of death or disease in USA since 1910. USA has been a developed country or industrialist country for a very long period. So India has recently started becoming industrialized. So according to ICMR in 2017, 3 of the 5 leading individual causes of disease burden were non-communicable. That is, out of 5 person with a disease, 3 people will be having some kind of non-communicable disease like heart disease or cancerous disease or other sort of diseases. With ischemic heart disease and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease as the top 2 causes and stroke as the 5th leading causes. So here you can see that ischemic heart disease is one kind of heart disease. Then chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is a disease affecting your lungs, causing blockage of air passage. And similarly stroke. Stroke is basically a rupture or breaking of blood vessel and leaking of blood into your brain. That is basically a stroke. The blood vessels will be rupturing and blood will be leaked into your brain and brain cells will be dying. So that is basically a stroke. So these are the common causes of death in India now. So here you can see that different type of heart diseases are mentioned. There is coronary artery disease, heart failure are there, then pericarditis, it's another, then cardiomyopathy, aneurysm is here, some portion of heart is bulging like that, then valve disease. So when this is how a normal valve is, that when valves are not properly closing and opening, it is known as a valve diseases are there. Then cardiac arrhythmia, electrical activity in the heart may be improper, so that is known as a cardiac arrhythmia. Thickening of the myocardium, this is a problem, this is the normal myocardium. So when too much thickening is happening to the myocardium, so these are the different types of heart disease that we people are experiencing. Then what are the complications of the heart disease? Here you can see that one is heart failure will be a common cases of heart disease. Then heart attack means a blood clot blocking blood flow through a blood vessel that feeds the heart, causes a heart attack. Because in the case of heart attack, heart is also a muscle and that muscle needs energy, and energy is supplied by the blood. So when blood going to the heart muscles are blocked, heart may not be able to work. That is a heart attack. Then stroke, I have already mentioned, it is simply a rupture of a blood vessel and blood will be leaked into the brain. Then peripheral arteries are there, and when you develop peripheral artery disease, like especially on your legs, that region won't be receiving enough blood and that will be causing leg pain while walking. So that is a peripheral artery disease. There will be some block to your leg, in an artery supplying blood to your legs or to your arms. So that part of the body will not be getting enough blood. Similarly, there is aneurysm. Here you can see this is the aneurysm. There is bulging of artery. Then another is sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is a sudden unexpected loss of heart function. Breathing often caused by arrhythmia. Here you can see what is arrhythmia. The electrical activity is not in a proper way, because our heart is actually controlled by very weak minute electricity, and that electrical signals have some complication that is known as arrhythmia. That is one of the important reasons for cardiac arrest. So these are the common causes of complications of the heart disease. Now we have few more topics are there which we will discuss in next class. Okay. So today we will stop here. You can take down some